Ooh. Ooh.
The car has power.
Ooh.
Little SUV with some get up and go. Volvo has done it again. In fact, I think they need help right away with their naming convention.
Volvo needs help in that
because
department.
this is the 2024 XC60 T8 all-wheel drive Ultimate Black Edition.
Recharge is in there somewhere.
You're right. There is I forgot the word recharge.
See,
I already got it wrong.
something.
I thought I had it all, and I still got it wrong. We have to simplify. But the point is, this is the loaded out, latest and greatest. They haven't offered a black edition before on the XC60, which is their Macan-sized 5-seat SUV. And the big news has already existed, but I have to bring it up again.
Okay.
This is powerful.
It's fast. It's fast.
Great cars, great roads, and all the reasons we love to drive. Road trips, comparisons, test drives, and podcasts. This is Everyday Driver.
455 horsepower, 523 pound-feet of torque. Ponder that while you look at this vehicle. Nothing about this, blacked out or not, says 455 horsepower, 523 pound-feet of torque. And it's because the little tiny 2-liter is doing everything it can.
Yes.
Turbocharged, and then you have the electric motor on top of it. And at any point, foot to floor is a surprising amount of power. Anytime.
Say goodbye to all those Rivian drivers. Just wave goodbye, because everyone at the light is toast. I know that drag racing is not our bag, and it is not the point of driving.
Or of this, for that matter.
Or of this, but everyone is toast. It's so quick. Nobody's expecting that. You know, I was not expecting to really like this. I came in kind of reserved. I came in just feeling like there's always something missing with Volvos, and I think I know what it is.
Okay.
Volvo doesn't have motorsports connections like all of the competitors to this.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
There's no
All right.
motorsports thing, so there's no sport button anywhere. There's no paddles. There's no sports thing that the Porsche Macan has, the Audi Q5, SQ5, or the BMW X3, or even the Genesis GV70. And I feel like that feeling is preventing me from loving this, even though it competes and it is just as good or better in many ways than all of its competitors.
It's very good. In fact, to that point, I have to go gear, and I have to go driving, and I have to go power, to get to where it's actually at its dynamic setting. There's no button anywhere to easily access.
There's no more
give me at all.
connection
There's
button.
nothing.
It doesn't exist. And I want it to exist. And you know, the more I think about it, I don't think there's anything I don't like about the Volvo.
This is very impressive. Now, I must acknowledge, things like the X3 or the Macan are dynamically superior to this. Not by much, but just in a sheer world of handling. This has an $1,800 adaptive air suspension on it that actually, I think that's pretty affordable for adaptive air suspension. $1,800?
It's a bargain.
I was expecting it to be at least twice that.
Yeah, true.
So, and this actually, when you put it in the power mode, it settles. You can feel it. Even if you're moving, it just settles down on that air suspension and like hunkers and gets ready. It's still not a sports SUV. It isn't.
It isn't. Lowrider or something.
Something.
Like some mode that's entertaining.
There's a Polestar version of this that makes it a little more hardcore, but this is going to be more than dynamic enough for anybody's usage. And to your point, who do you want to take at the light? And also, who do you want to pass? It has all of that immediacy of the fast electrics out there, while it is a plug-in hybrid. So we're talking about 37 or so miles of pure electric, but we've got it down at 0 right now, and it is still every bit as powerful as it was when it had electric charge. So it hangs onto that charge like a good PHEV, and it is, I keep bringing it up because I keep being surprised by it. This never ceases to amaze me when I put my foot to the floor and I go, why is this fast? That's the thing. It's not just it's fast. Your brain goes, why is this fast?
Yes.
It doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense to be in this little Volvo package. I am quite surprised by the speed of this, the power of this, and the kind of take everyone attitude while being serene.
It's got a can-do attitude.
And Volvo-like. The seats are comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Heated, cooled, massaged, and thin, which they do a great job at, which also means that you have decent back seat space. I got in the back seat. I have extra space in front of my knees, extra space above my head in this back seat. You can't do that in a Macan. This has surprisingly good back seats.
Yes.
It's very usable, but I continually am surprised by, why is this that fast? What is going on here?
It's one of those things where I want the extra bits that make it suddenly into a driver's machine, but Volvo knows that that's not why people are buying this, and you
No.
don't need it. And especially in an SUV, that's not the point of an SUV. I want paddles. I want the sport button. I want suddenly to feel like, wow, this is really getting after the task of driving. And then I remember there's no point.
Fair. Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
really need to make this SUV go fast, because if you want to do all those kinds of things, buy a sports car.
That would be better. Fundamentally
Don't
better.
make your
yeah.
SUV, even though every SUV manufacturer has a sport button except for Volvo. I mean, they do have
true.
power.
You had,
I
but I
like that
had to
they're
dig
just
down 3 layers to get there.
they're
had
just
to dig down 3
different.
layers.
Just
Yes.
we're different.
Uh-huh.
The other lingering thing in my mind is reliability, and it's hard to project because everybody has this perception about Volvo. Volvos of old. Take care of them, change the oil, and you barely need to do anything, and they'll just be safe and run forever. It doesn't matter what the style is, doesn't matter how they drove. They just ran forever. They had
Okay.
that safe and longevity
Yep.
kind of
Yep.
perspective. With their new ownership, with the way they're built just the same as any other modern car, I cannot say don't buy the Volvo and buy one of the Germans instead, thinking there will be just as much maintenance involved with a German version of this
Well,
as a Volvo.
True, and
So
sometimes
buy this one.
because of the Geely parent, the discussion comes up that Volvos are now Chinese cars. It's a Chinese parent company, but this is built in Sweden.
Yes,
this is still
it's-
built
it's
in Sweden, like Volvos
money.
have
It's
been.
Chinese money.
So it's Chinese backing behind the Swedes still building a Swedish SUV.
Just to remind you, there's Swedish flags.
Yeah, there's another one here
everywhere.
Yes,
I
right
thought
here
this
on
was
the-
a damaged chrome
It's
part,
funny.
part
No,
of the
it's a little
instrument
flag.
panel.
Yeah.
It's actually a flag.
And then
molded.
one on the seat,
Flags, the
all
flags.
kinds of places.
You even get crystal or for Swedish crystal in the gear shift
That's in
Geartronic
the-
selector.
That's extra money, and that's in the category of don't understand why. I will say
It's a piece of jewelry.
I will say one strike against this is the all-in price.
True.
$76,000 for this?
But I went loading up the competitors.
That is the other thing, though.
Macans are just as much or more,
Or
and you
more.
get less power.
That's true. That is the flip side. I had the exact same kind of crisis you did on it because I thought this is too much, and then I started thinking about everybody else that this actually competes with, and they're every bit as this expensive. It's just this is what these cost now. If you get a luxury,
Any of them.
performance,
Yes.
small 5-seater, we're talking 60 plus to start. And I thought of this in comparison to the GV60 that we like,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
EV. Okay, with the Sauron eye, that's every bit as expensive as this, and it's an EV. And I would
Yeah.
take this more powerful and better to be in.
Every day of the week, absolutely. So let's talk about styling. I feel like Volvo has made themselves distinctive. Their slow evolution has made Volvos very distinctive on the road and the marketplace. And the Thor's hammer headlights and the distinctive styling. There's beautiful full surfaces intersected by very crisp, very beautiful themes. Very nice all the way around. It's beautiful to look at, even in SUV form. Just because it's not a sports car doesn't mean it can't be beautiful. And Volvo has done an excellent job on styling, including the interior, where you've mentioned the seats. The seats are the best. They're the best.
Fantastic, yeah.
They're the best. They're thin. They massage. They're cool. They're heated. Everything.
When
Why
everyone
don't
else-
every other car manufacturer build seats like this?
When everyone else does a seat that does this many things and is this comfortable, it's twice as big.
And this, yeah,
That's the thing I don't understand. It's twice as big. And Volvo's like, yeah, we'll do all that in half the size.
and probably twice the weight.
I don't understand that at all. I don't know what Volvo's, and the biggest place you actually feel that is not up front, it's in the back. Big seats like that are where they intrude is in the back, and Volvo's just gone, all right, I'll give you an extra knee room, and the seat will still do all of these things.
The instrument panel is beautiful. It's still just, the materials are such a discerning choice. And it's still that understated thing. It doesn't suggest I spent a lot of money, even though you kind of did.
You did, yeah.
It suggests you're a discerning customer. You got something excellent, very well built, beautiful, different, not mainstream, kind of doing my own thing over here. And yet you're still just as luxurious as any of the competitors. It seems such a curated choice to me. The Swedish crystal knob here is really a nice touch there. And you're going to have to get used to the start-stop knob. It's consistent throughout Volvo's lineup, so good news, but you're just going to have to remind yourself every time you get in, this is not like everyone else.
True.
You've got the start-stop knob that you twist the same way to start and stop. On the other hand, every start-stop button does the same thing. You push it to start, push it to stop it. I get it.
But yes, you wouldn't normally think, though. You think of it in volume terms. Volume terms is
Right.
up or down. This is up and down. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Rheostat.
Doesn't matter. It's all the
Lighting.
same thing, yes.
The seats, it's a beautiful instrument panel to look at. It's just a wonderful place to be. It's on the level of Mercedes-Benz's where it's just the place you want to be.
And
This
the
is where you wanna
Mercedes would be
spend
a lot
time.
more.
It
Mercedes
would.
for this power, you're getting up in AMGs, and you're going to add an extra figure on the front of that cost.
We have to find something to complain about. So I found something,
Okay.
and those are the windows. The window speed, in particular, is sort of like the gate when you pull up, the security gate that just doesn't seem to open. The driver's window seems even slower. It's just this.
It is thoughtful. That is a thoughtful
it's
window.
So slow.
It's gonna
Like,
make sure that it
open
doesn't
the
rush anybody.
window.
Yeah.
Close
Especially
the window.
up. You know what? I actually think I could roll it up manually
I
faster
think
than
you
that.
could too.
That's
Just
crazy.
Make it quick.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't have to be so calculated and very engineered. Just make it go up and down. Just boom. Like,
These are the things that we find to complain about. I want to acknowledge Volvo has excellent vents here. The thing about their vertical screen, instead of the landscape version, they do a portrait version. And one of the great things about that is it allows them to put massive vents on either side. I appreciate that in Volvos very, very much.
Todd's
The
all
vents-
about the air conditioning.
I'm all about the air
Giant
conditioning.
vents.
Yes, if we're going to do it, let's do it
if
right.
we're just a piece of janky HVAC hose,
That's fine.
Pointed at
That's
your
fine.
face.
Just pointed at my face.
You're like, this
and
is the best
call it a
ever. Why
day.
doesn't everybody
Yes.
do this?
My biggest critique actually is the fact that I feel like Volvo is hiding that this has any performance. With this power thing being 2 levels down now, at least if you pull up
Yeah.
this screen, it will
Yeah.
stay as the top screen. That is good. If you turn the car off and car on, it will keep this driving screen up because it knows you had it up the last time. But again, buttons in here, paddles, whatever they need to be, the reality is Volvo has made something high performance and then kind of gone, shh. And you as the driver should be the number one person that knows that.
True. It's because I know Volvo does have technically motorsports heritage. I love the 850R, the wagon, and the DTM races. There's nothing that suggests that. It's just sort of like, be cool, just be cool.
If you've never had a powerful car before and you buy this for the family, you are going to shock yourself. And then you're going to end up using even less throttle than ever before because it just needs a whisper and it's gone. I
Yeah,
love that.
for
You
sure.
got to drive.
All right. This extended bolster cushion.
I'm telling you,
This is brilliant.
the best seats on the market. They just kill
This
it on
is
seats.
so good.
I'm going to start the massage here now that I'm just luxuriating in the passenger side.
Just gonna
Yeah.
chill out over there.
You
aren't
know it,
you?
absolutely.
All right. My habit is to instantly put this, whatever we're driving, whatever we're reviewing, find the sport button, break it off with a screwdriver.
Sporty goodness mode.
I'm wanting the paddles. I'm wanting it, but that's okay. When you're in power mode and the adjustable suspension has adjusted, this composure of this chassis is so good.
It is very good.
On high-speed overpasses, on-ramps, off-ramps, it's composed. You can hold your speed, and with the black package, the 21s, and the bigger wheels and tires, you can do kind of performance driving things with this, which is so unexpected from Volvo because you're right, it doesn't suggest anything about sport or getting after it or driving or just take your XC60 all-wheel drive recharge T8
Black
edition.
Ultimate Black edition, yes.
for a drive
Uh-huh.
just for the sake of driving for fun. And you could,
Yeah.
but that's not what this thing suggests. It's still just the SUV, only use it when you need it, but you could because it's actually fun. And that's all the difference. If it's fun to
Surprise.
drive, that should be your shopping criteria over all of its competitors and therefore justifying the $77,000 price tag.
It's a lot.
77 grand.
Competitive, but a lot. Now, you might be able to find a deal on one of these. You can go to Autotempest.com. You can look up all the searches you can imagine in one place. You can actually look up XC60s, used, new. This black edition is brand new. You might be able
See?
to find one of those at a dealer.
Corner.
You're
I'm hanging
right,
onto
a corner.
I'm accelerating to a corner.
Yeah,
Even faster.
In a Volvo XC60.
Volvo.
You can find one right now. Autotempest.com/everyday is the place to go to
That's
let them
right.
know that we sent you. Autotempest.com, all the cars in one search.
At $77,000, you could go shopping for XC90s because those,
True.
we've driven those at 81 or 85, somewhere in there. They're not that much more
True.
than the XC60. So it
True.
starts to get tough to justify this price. But when you drive it and you don't need the space that an XC90 has, and you want a little bit less weight, a little bit smaller footprint, this does start to make sense, especially stacked up against its competitors, which I do appreciate.
This still tows 3,500 pounds, which I actually feel like is a lot for this little chassis.
That's quite decent.
It's a 4,600 pound vehicle, which is about average for something like
A couple
this.
of jet skis, your sailboat.
Yeah, towing 3,500
Jet skis and a
pounds.
sailboat?
Possibly. Just make a chain off the back of your XC60. See what that little 2-liter 4-cylinder can really do.
Yeah.
Anyway, but 3,500 pounds is legit. It's not lots of towing, but in most families, in most cases, that's pretty decent.
Okay, the time has come to
Uh-oh.
get after it.
Hang on to something.
We'll just be cool on traffic. Full throttle. Okay, it's not going to pin us to the seats, but
It doesn't do
this
bad.
is quick.
The traffic is on us now.
Well, it's a Prius.
I know, it's fine, but it's
An
also
old
pickups and
Prius.
other folks. You're
Yeah,
right.
true.
But I left people at the light earlier.
People are toast.
People are not ready. If you're the front row, you are the front car out, buddy.
Yeah. I like being here. I like driving this. I thought I wasn't going to like it as much as I do. And the only things that are holding me back are no wireless Apple CarPlay.
True.
Even though it's fast, there's no motorsports connection. And the windows are too slow.
Never thought the windows would be a thing you'd land on, but all right. That's your deal today, is windows. All right, good, excellent. Not bad at all.